Hello and welcome to another update video about AVAX Avalanche, the chart that is a head and shoulders pattern. Unfortunately, you will, everybody who's, I haven't done AVAX videos for a while, but we've had a bit of a nice short-term impulse here in the last video, but I think it's going to break down already, so we're going to take a look at that. I raised my concerns about this chart more than once, the long-term chart. It just, the problem I have with this chart is just, it can be counted fairly bullish. Yeah, if I want to do it, there's always different interpretations with Elliott wave, and different analysts will disagree or agree on this. This here is a possibility that I'm still exploring, observing, but it is seriously getting challenged, and I already raised my serious concerns about this scenario because it has just come down too low. And let me first explain this scenario, and then I talk about my concerns about the chart. This case, the case of this scenario is just, and we've been looking at that for a long time now, that this year was a wave 1, the peak basically in February 21, moved down in a wave 2. We are now moving up in a third wave. There will be a fourth and a fifth. Within that third wave, we have completed a wave 1 back in November, and we're now coming down in a wave 2, and would then move up in the wave 3 of 3 next. So a very bullish setup. What's the problem with this chart? The problems, there are a few. The problem is that in this wave 2 down here, we're just coming down too low. We've nearly retraced now 100% of wave 1. This is only really happening in the most frequent cases, so it doesn't happen very often. If you take a look at, because this 1-2 setup in green, not in green, in white, 1-2, will be invalidated, officially invalidated, if we go below the 928 level. Because then we're dropping below the low of that wave 2, the higher degree wave 2. And normally you would say, as you know, the 78.6% retracement level is critical. Dropping below that level will in most frequent cases invalidate such an impulse. Even though it's not officially invalidated until we drop really below the beginning of the wave 1, but that level was at 39.84. Okay, on the larger degree waves, I would still allow it to come down to the 88.7, but even there we drop below it. So we've basically retraced 99% of that wave 1. Very, very unlikely that this is still going to hold. I'm very honest with you. It can hold, yeah, it can hold, but it's just the likelihood of it. Then the other concern I have is that just looking at the chart, the move down nearly looks as impulsive, if not more impulsive, than the move up. That's always a warning sign. And then the third warning sign is that this looks very much like a 3-wave structure. So I wouldn't have any problem in counting this as an A wave, down as a B wave, up in a C wave. A 3-wave top, big concern, right? Because it can lead to a 5-wave move to the downside, which will eventually lead to prices certainly below $9.28. Yeah. Maybe over the years even lead to a slow death, which is never my primary expectation. But reality is that a lot of coins have died, and my view is just any chart that has that structure on the higher time frame, it's something for me to at least be concerned about. On the other hand, we have now pulled back very, very close to that $9.28 level, which means should we come down any closer, and even now, it is a possible trade setup. It is a 1-2 setup for everybody who likes to take some risk. Now I'm only telling you some trade setups. I'm not very confident that the 928 level is going to hold, because the whole chart is not giving me too much confidence. But it is an incredible reward to risk ratio. If we assume this is the correct count, there is a setup that assumes that the bear market low is already in, and that we can move up with a stop loss below the 2021 low. This could be a long trade, and would certainly take us eventually, if it all goes well, according to expectations, above $150. Yeah, you risk basically a couple of dollars, and you could gain like $130, $140. Again, it's only a trade setup, not telling you it's definitely going to hold. From a strategic point of view, I would rather wait either for a confirmed bottom or lower lows and even then I wouldn't really risk more than my lunch money on it. So that's hopefully clear. But in the very short term, we spotted yesterday a potential impulse emerging. I said AVAX is here at a make or break point. It was basically here at the breakout point of this descending wedge. Very important, it didn't break out yet. Yeah, it didn't break out yet. Maybe zooming out a little bit on the 4-hour chart is important for context. So here, this ending diagonal that we're following, where we're exploring if the low is already in. Again, not too confident, but the case is certainly there. I said to you that if we want to have more confidence that a low is indeed in, we need to observe this impulse, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and it needs to hold the wave 4 support area to get more confidence that a low is in. It should then make a wave 5 to the upside, and then this would mean we have a wave 1 complete, presumably, and the wave 2 low could be a possible long entry point. This would be at least a good indication that we have already seen the bear market low. If this wave 4 support is holding, what do we see? We see we've already gone below the wave 4 support, and we've already dropped below the 50% retracement. And I think this is not going to hold. This has come down to low. Now, okay, we haven't invalidated it. Okay, we are just above the 50% retracement again. But from experience, this is a 5-wave move down now. Yeah, so this is probably going to come down lower eventually. It might now get a bit of a bounce to the upside in an ABC pattern, but yeah, it's probably going to come down. Again, this could become a 1-2-1-2 setup, would then still have a chance to move up as long as we're staying above $11, but it's already reduced in likelihood. Yeah, I don't like these 1-2-1-2 setups. They're always very unreliable. So yeah, what I can say at the moment, that with a high likelihood the impulse is failing, but I'm going to keep an eye on that for you. Certainly always useful to wait until 5 waves are complete to get an understanding that the trend changes. This example shows that again, at the moment we have only 3 waves to the upside, and we possibly have started an impulse down, which would then eventually lead to lower lows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. But I'm going to observe that for you, because there was a potential here, there still is, but it imminently needs to turn around now and make a higher high, or I cannot count this as a 5-wave move. Okay, and that's my update about AVAX. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.